Um, I this is Tutor Loidekorede and from K-Tutorial Academy. I'll actually be giving you about few infos as you prepare for your jam. Many students actually ask questions like, what do I need to pay attention to even as I approach jam exam? As such, I'll be giving you 6 infos that will actually help you to have an excellent jam result or help even as you approach your exams. What should I pay attention to even as I write the exams? Follow me. Now, number one, the first thing I will tell you, I'm a believer. The first thing I will tell you to do is to trust God for help. I often tell students to pray to God and ask God for help. I believe in the help of God. But do not forget that heaven helps those who help themselves. So even as you pray, what you must have done is that you must have studied each and covered all the JAM syllabuses from the use of English to your 3 other subject combinations. Number two, avoid anxiety. What I mean by avoid anxiety, many students are often pressured, often in the state of fear. Anxiety is a state of uncalmness and having a worryful mind. A calm mind is a weapon to having an excellent result. Means you can sit in the examination hall with a calm mind, ready for whatever they will be bringing out in your exam as such. And this has a way of boosting your self-confidence and also boosting your performance in the examination hall. So you must practice a calm mind. Do not be pressured, avoid anxiety to help you. Suppose, sir, I have not fully prepared for my exam. I'll still tell you to actually practice calmness as such. Although you should be prepared, but still practice calmness so that you won't find yourself in a situation whereby both the questions you know and the questions you don't know, you end up having a zero or end up failing them. Number three, what should you do again is to read instructions and read instructions properly. A common mistake students make is that they don't read instructions. What do I mean by they don't read instructions? One of the things, due to a lot of excitement, probably students have over studied a whole lot and they see a question and they are meant to pay attention to things like the word not. For example, which of the following is not secreted by the adrenal cortex? You have A, cortisol. You have your B as an option, aldosterone. You could also have adrenaline or D as catecholamine. Now, a student that do not pay attention to details or do not pay attention to the word not, the next thing he will do is just to probably pick one of the answers. He might think the question is which of the following is secreted by the adrenal cortex, but the question is not. So we must pay attention to not. I've seen students often make that mistakes over the years. Even as I've tutored some students, JAM student, WAEC student, NECO student. But as you write your JAM exam, you must pay attention to the word not and be calm as you write your exams. Number four, do not waste too much of time on a question. Do not waste more. You have only 2 hours to write the exam, just 2 hours alone, and you have to answer 180 questions. 180 questions comprises of the use of English, 60 questions, and 3 other subject combinations, which have having 40 questions. That implies that you just have 180 divided by, if you add 60 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40, you have 180. 1 divided by 60, that's 0.67 minutes, which is about 40 seconds, for 40.2 seconds. So you must use your time wisely. I also advise you to try to finish at least 10 minutes or 5 minutes before the end of your exam. If you can finish earlier than that, so that you can cross check certain things you didn't pay attention to also. Number 5, if you encounter any question you don't know, what should you do? What should you do? I would advise you to skip it so that you won't waste too much of time on the question, and go to the questions you know and keep solving. Another thing you can do is to take a pencil into the examination hall, and on your jam slip, what do? You write down the numbers of the questions you skipped so that you can come back to it after you are done with the rest, but ensure that you come back to it. And lastly, number 6, I really hope this will help you. Before giving number 6, the focus of K-Tutorial Academy is to build students all over the world that perform excellently in the academics and also in life also as such. So I would love you to click the subscribe button and also share to your fellow friends that might need this. This could also help somebody writing another kind of exam also. Probably it might be a CBT exam as such. Now the last one, number 6, is to be careful with your computer system. The first time I wrote jamb, as I entered the exam hall, I sat down. One of the things I just heard a girl just shouted, "Ah!" What happened? I think she could not handle the system properly, and she pressed something on the system because of we have a lot of functions on the keyboard, of course. As she pressed on the system, her exam ended. That means she has 0/400. And no exam was scheduled up for her again. So you have to be careful with your system. I advise you some I advise some JAMB students to actually, like, if you have a system, you should have a JAMB CBT app on your system so you can know how to practice to give you certain times. In our previous tutorial, those of you using a phone or a system, I actually recommended a CBT JAMB app for you that you could check out the YouTube link down. So I'll put the link in the description below. It's going to help you out. So it's when you have familiarized yourself with how the system works, how to handle your mouse, also how to handle the necessary systems, the necessary tools on the system. For example, you'll not be given a jump, allowed to take a calculator inside the exam, or so you'll be given a jump calculator which has some limited functions. There also be a video as regard that also. So you must ensure that if you have any issue, reach out to your invigilator or your instructor and just say, I have an issue with this system, so that you can correct it. Thank you for watching. Do it to click the subscribe button. Yeah, it's K-Tutorial Academy.